we knew we were going to be the top guys. We knew we had to push everybody else aside to get there, and we weren't going to let anybody stop us.
Talking about being given opportunities, Seth, let's talk about your faction, The Shield. An incredible debut, a brilliant run. It was very obvious that WWE put a lot of stock into you three guys, and I guess I can speak from a fan's perspective. We get frustrated with stop-start pushes with some of new talents that come through. Titus O'Neil on the barrel, for example. But with you guys, it felt like you were protected, you were pushed to the top, and lo and behold, three legit main event stars were born out of it. Why do you think the creative machine got behind The Shield so much? What do you think WWE or Vince's vision was for you guys?
Well, we didn't suck.
There you go. Simple as, really.
No, we weren't going to let it be bad. You know, for me and Ambrose, this was our shot. This was it, man. We worked too hard to get to that point to let it die. And he and I were close in FCW, and so we had the same, you know, sort of what Bex talked about with the Four Horsewomen, where you've got that same mentality and you've got people to push you. That was what we had. We had that mentality. The three of us, you know, we kind of brought Roman along with. He was real new to the game at that point, but we were not going to let it fail, no matter what. Anytime there was an obstacle in our way, like we were gonna say no. You have to stick with this. This is too good. You're not going to mess this up, and we're not going to let you mess this up. And then we went out when we got the opportunities, and we tore the house down. Didn't matter what three dudes you put on the other side of the ring in any combination. We never had a bad six-man tag match. Not one. I dare you to find one. It would never happen.
I'm such a huge fan of The Shield.
Yeah, and the pace at which we were performing and having great matches, and we were elevating everybody that we were working with to, you know, levels that they didn't even think they could. I mean, you look at what the Usos were doing before and what the Usos were doing with us. They're just a small example, you know, but we were elevating everybody that we were working with, and everyone was excited to have matches. Not at first with The Shield. They didn't like the beatdowns, but eventually when it turned into wrestling matches, everyone was like, oh, these guys are not too bad at pro wrestling, so maybe we want to get in there and have a good match with them. And yeah, we just weren't going to let it fail, man. So it was just a mindset of anytime creative tried to pump the brakes, we just broke the door down and told them no, it wasn't going to happen. There's a few examples I can point to specifically, but that was the mindset. We knew we were going to be the top guys. We knew we had to push everybody else aside to get there, and we weren't going to let anybody stop us.
So it really is a mentality thing. It's a mindset. There's a story about Shawn Michaels where he wrote about it in his book. He was talking about being backstage at a pay-per-view. There were queues of talents waiting to get in to see Vince. He pushed past everyone in the line and went into Vince's office and said, what do I need to do to make it to the top? And Vince said, you've just done it. So is there that mentality of you've just got to push yourself forward?
I mean...
And is that true?
That's a risk right there.
Yeah, okay.
That's a risk.
Yeah, Vince on a bad day probably
on a bad day, you just get fired. You go find somewhere else to work. But no, I mean, being successful in our industry really, I mean, there's two things, right? It's a mentality of you have to visualize yourself at the top. You have to see that. You have to believe in yourself. But at the end of the day, you also have to perform. You can't your way there. Sorry, did it again. You
fourth swear in half an hour.
You can't because the audience is the ultimate judge and jury, you know. There's Vince, but then there's you guys, and if you guys don't buy into it, then it only goes so far. And so if you go out there and you stink up the joint and you do that time and time again, you're not going to get opportunities from the audience. Vince is going to see that, and you're off. So, you know, you have to walk the walk too. It's not just about, you know, it's put up or shut up. It really is.